This is about a tracing callout that happened for a League of Legends art contest. This is about the Spirit Blossom fan art contest hosted by League of Legends. If you guys don't know what this is about, League of Legends is a really popular MOBA game, and they released a skin line a while back called Spirit Blossom, and they just made more Spirit Blossom skins like just this spring, summer, and they've been doing a lot of promotion for it. So one of the promotions included hosting an art contest. So they have some example artwork, and the prompt is to illustrate your favorite new Spirit Blossom skins using one of the new myths to inspire your creation. There's a whole bunch of new myths that were created kind of to involve the new skins that came out. And the contest basically is about, starting April 21st at 8 a.m. PST. The deadline was May 18th. The winners will be announced June 4th. And that the work submitted must be originally made. Riot Games is the sole judge. There is contest rules, and you submit in a specific location. So there were 3 grand prize winners, 15 honorable mentions. So here's a list of rules. You must obviously follow the prompt. The champions must wear the skins. You can't, change the skins. You have to submit in a specific place, play by the rules. It must be in English. You must sign the work. No AI. Please keep it under 10 megabytes. It must be suitable for all ages, and the medium matters. So digital or traditional cosplay structures, they're all available. We're talking about a League of Legends contest, a fan art contest. So other rules, multiple entries were not allowed. So judging and winner determination, sponsors shall choose all prize winners from eligible entries based on their determination at sole discretion of the creativity, originality, and success of portraying the theme. 1/3 each of each entry. So I wanted just to focus on that because that will become a topic of contention later. So then Riot posted, we're in full bloom, celebrate the winners of the Spirit Blossom fan art contest and check out some of the entries. So a user by the name of James Excalibur made the winning piece. This is really, really pretty. Wow, nice one. The second winning piece. This is the third piece. It's an animation. It's really cute and a 1/3. But then there is this account by the name of Delafine who posts, I'm sorry, did third place trace. And then there are some side-by-sides between the frames of the animation and frames from Dan the Dan, which is a really popular anime. So there's Dan the Dan's frame, there is another frame from the animation, another Dan the Dan frame. So in the comments, Dila adds, do not harass or go after the artist. This is not the artist's fault. Blame Riot. I'm muting this because people are telling me to take down the post and I won't. She traced it. Riot is lame for picking something that doesn't follow the standards they themselves set. But at the end of the day, she submitted a piece with plagiarism. Another commenter adds, yeah, this contest was very sus and unfair. This was my entry. I expected at least an honorable mention. Dila says, wow, yours is absolutely amazing. Me too, though. This year's and last year's felt like if you had an anime style or included more than one character, your likelihood of winning was raised. Their 33% of grading just isn't true and doesn't make sense anyways. And then a lot of people are kind of going back and forth being like, oh, this is just the contest system, or Riot should change the contest format. And then a lot of people have this sentiment. So Dipolar Animal says, I feel like this is pretty apparent that this is not traced. Yes, it's heavily referenced, but it's definitely not tracing LMAO. And using this as your starter to rant and vent will direct a lot of hate towards the original artist. Vandersnatch says, girl, this is obviously referenced, not traced. And the artist goes by the handle Vitora on Twitter, and Vitora says, I heavily reference the hands because hands are hard. I had a very rough sketch of them that I referenced the original piece. And yes, it was rushed. I had 18 days to do this, and I don't have the same heart for animation I did when I was 13. Sorry, I don't feel deserving of my spot. Delphine adds, I'm very sorry if I made you upset or doubt yourself. I'll be honest, when I say I was ranting while mad, so said some out-of-pocket stuff, and I will take that accountability. I don't want you to doubt yourself. Your animation is great, and I can tell you have skill. I am not upset at you, but Riot. At the end of the day, they chose you as the winner, and that's great. I want you to be happy that something as big as Riot will recognize your talent, but their way of choosing winners is unclear and doesn't seem to be the fairest. But at the end of the day, congratulations. I hope you can walk away happy from this, and again, I am sorry if it made you doubt yourself. Me being upset at Riot should not be projected onto you. I am so sorry. And Vittoria says, thank you for your kind words. I'm all too familiar with saying some things while angry, so I completely understand. I also understand with being confused or upset with the judging or with Riot. Trust me, there were artists much more deserving of my spot than me, but I guess I was one of the few animated entries, which probably stood out to them. Even though people who drew beautiful paintings like yourself was just as gorgeous, if not more. I can't wait to see your work in the next contest winners page. Your piece was super pretty. And then Vittoria asked for the post to be taken down, and then it was kind of left unread. But then, there After that, Delafine adds, thread proving that these frames were traced. I am tired of people upset at me for calling out somebody that traced for an art competition. So Dila says, first, referencing from tracing. Last year, Vittoria submitted an animated GIF for the Anima Squad contest, using the same type of inspiration and got an honorable mention. The animation is inspired from another anime's intro, D4DJ First Mix. The animation includes 3 of the 4 clips that are heavily referenced from the anime's opening. The third column shows that no matter how you overlay the anime's opening, there are no overlaps. This is referencing. This shows Vittoria knows what referencing is. So here we have the side-by-side of Vittoria's artwork, and then we have the anime. And then here are some overlaps that I guess are supposed to show that it's referenced and not traced because they don't overlap the frames, that is. Then Dila adds, below is the overlay of Vittoria's Spirit Blossom contest entry with the opening of Dandadan. Unlike the overlay above, these frames overlap a lot. The first frame at the top doesn't overlap that much, but the position of both the index finger and the thumb lines up, and the lack of a pinky in the end result shows how hastily the sketch was traced. The second frame lines up nearly 1-to-1, even down to the face. We will come back to this. The fingers don't even seem to line up 1-to-1 because of how blurry she made the hands. The nails still line up 1-to-1. The third frame almost lines up 1-to-1, the biggest proof being how the left middle finger is the exact same angle, which if something was properly referenced, there would be a slight difference. So here, this is the first row of frames where you can see it doesn't overlap that much. Here's the second one where you can see it does look like the fingernails match up. Also a little bit hard to tell because her hands are really, really blurred. So it could be due to the blur that's distorting it. And then here are the third frames where it does look pretty similar. Although her finger, her like ring finger is larger than this finger here. Like it's not 1-to-1. You see the hands don't exactly match here, but it is similar, yes. First, her story was that she heavily referenced only the hands because hands are hard. So like I said earlier, why do the faces line up so closely? That is not referencing only the hands. That is tracing both the hands and the faces. And that was the tweet that I read to you guys earlier. Dila adds, she then admitted she traced, implying that it's okay to trace because it was only her sketch. So here it's a comment, I guess, that Vittoria said, I traced a very rough sketch of the hands to get the hang of the anatomy and vision. It is not fair for somebody to trace something, submit it to a contest, win said contest, and act like what she did wasn't wrong. Yes, she respectfully asked for me to take it down, but she did not apologize for tracing and even denied it at first. I deleted my original rant, thinking it may have came across the wrong way, but I clarified there I am not doing this because I wanted to win, or that I am a sore loser like some people believe. I knew I wasn't going to win or get an honorable mention. But it's completely unfair for a contest that judges 33% of a piece based on originality with the most vague rules to allow this to happen. A lot of artists put their heart and soul into their piece with the same time restrictions and did not trace. She did not take accountability for what she did. And in the comment section, a lot of people are dogging over Delafine, saying job applications tell scary stories about you over campfires. Sorry, that one's just really funny. People are saying spend time improving your own art instead of whining about losing. And then the artists put out a statement themselves. So the artist says, somebody said I traced my piece and it's spreading to other people and I can't help but feel like I want to vomit. This was before the longer thread was put out. I struggled with some of the frames and struggled with deciding if I should really stylize the piece to more anime or stay true to my style. Yes, some of the frames are rushed. No, I don't know shadows well. I had 18 days to animate a piece and I haven't animated in a long time. So maybe if anything, you could make the argument they shouldn't have entered the contest if they were going to do it. They entered a previous contest with a similar thing where they referenced an anime opening and then they animated that for their entry. Because they entered previously and it won, then I'm sure Vittoria was like, well, it worked in the past. Riot was okay with it because it won. I'm just gonna do it again, which is fair because if it won, then I mean that's chill, right? I don't know. So I'm curious about your thoughts at the end of the day. I think it's interesting. Do you think that's considered tracing or referencing if they allegedly traced off of the animation as a sketch and then took that sketch and then modified it for themselves or like, you know, drew it afterwards on top of the sketch? Does that count as tracing? People in the comments are saying, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it's considered tracing. Rather, they used it as a drawing reference. Based on what we see, we could tell they have a hard time drawing that perspective, so they use the screenshots as a drawing ref. But yeah, I'm just curious about your thoughts at a situation like this because it's referenced. They did say they traced over it. But, you know, like, I mean, we have this. It is definitely the same pose. Like, that's not wrong. But, like, it doesn't line up 1-to-1. The thumbs touch in Dandadan. But in this art piece, the thumbs don't even touch. Where maybe it's a gray area here. Again, don't send hate to any parties involved. That's what this is about. I definitely understand the frustration that the art contest should follow the rules they set with 33% originality, and referencing anime openings maybe isn't original enough. But at the end of the day, it literally says Riot can use their sole discretion to judge the pieces, and that's exactly what they did here. I don't think she was whining about losing, but it may have influenced a little in their post. I can see how frustrating it is. Yeah. Definitely the post might have held more water if OP did not actually enter the contest themselves. So maybe it's one of those. At the end of the day, Riot is a big video game company. They hosted an art contest. They could pick the winners they want. They're literally entitled to pick any winners they want. That's what it says. And people are going to be mad that they didn't win. And whether this submission was legal, quote unquote, or not, at the end of the day, it is up to Riot to decide, and Riot gave it third place, so Riot thought it was fine. That was the conclusion. But yeah, would love to hear your thoughts on the situation. If you like the video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on VGen. I'm there now. I have coffee, free resources for streamers and creators. Also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So hope to catch you guys there or in another one of my videos. Peace.